What's going on, everybody? I'm Just.that.officer and welcome to my boot review. So if you're looking for a boot and you can't really decide what boot that you want, I'm here to give you my experience with several different boots over the years. So I've been in law enforcement for 7 years, and over those years I bought a boot just about every year. So at my department, when I first started out, they did give us boots. The very first year I was there, I was still part of where they still issued the duty boots. But after that, the following year and to now, they've been giving us a boot allowance. So they give us about $180 every year in October that we can purchase new boots. And it's been great because every year I get that, I usually buy a new pair of boot. That way I can try a new pair and ultimately find the best pair of boot that I think is the best pair of boot. Over the years, I've tried several different types of pairs of boots. So I'm here to give you my opinion on these boots. And now this is just my experience and what boots that I like personally. And in the end, it's going to be really up to you and what you like and what's best for you and your performance, where you are, climate, everything like that comes into play when you're choosing a boot. Before we get started, I'm not sponsored by any of these companies. None of them have sent me any of these boots. So this is clearly just my opinion on my experience, nothing more. So we're gonna go over 6 boots today. I think 1 year I didn't actually buy any. I kept the same boot. So 6 years worth of boots. Well, 7 years technically, but 6 pairs of boots. And first, we're starting off with these. The ones you can't handle. All right, guys, so these are just my motor boots. We're not really gonna get into these, but if you're in motors, then you probably have a pair that you like and things like that, but we're not really gonna talk about these. But in case you're wondering, these are Chippewas, steel toe. It's what I use for motors. So our first couple boots, I'm actually gonna go over with you on the computer because I don't have them anymore. I actually donated them. I didn't wear them anymore. They just sat around, so I ended up donating them to like Goodwill or something. And yeah, so we'll just go over them on the computer. I'll show you which ones that I had, what I thought about them, and why I no longer have them or continue to buy them. So the very first duty boot that I had was issued to me were 511 A.T.A.Cs. I believe they were the original A.T.A.Cs. Now I'm looking at the site, I don't think I can even find them anymore as the original A.T.A.Cs. But they do come out with these 2.0s. They're very similar in design. Looks like they upgraded the design just slightly. Put like a knife holder in them and some nice looking carbon fiber look to it. But anyways, I had these boots to begin with. And why I did not buy these boots again, to me they were just kind of bulky and they just didn't look that good in my opinion. You're going to see here going through these boots that I really care about the look of the boots. But this boot wasn't the most comfortable boot. It wasn't the most pretty looking boot. And I think it was a little bit heavy. It was a long time ago, so I can't remember 100% on that. But for some reason or another, I didn't really like these, so I moved on to a different pair. I think also the excitement of being able to buy your own pair helped me move on too. But I didn't like the bulkiness. I do definitely remember that. So the other pair that I bought that I don't have with me were the Tactical Research by Belleville Khyber lightweight. I think that's what they're called. Side zip boots. So these boots were actually really good boots. They're really tough. I mean, I would have said they would have lasted forever. I mean, when I donated them, they were in really good condition. They were just a little dirty, but cleaning them up real good. I mean, they held up. Another good thing about these boots is they have side zip. I mean, side zip all the way. If you can go side zip, get side zip. It's so much faster to take your boots on and off. And you know, when you come home, your wife doesn't want you to wear your boots in your house. It's real easy to zip those things on and off at the front door, making it a lot easier on your life than having to bend down and untie them every time. So side zip is definitely the way to go. Also, I had these in waterproof. So I decided to purchase these in waterproof. Now, that's a good thing for Florida, but also a bad thing for Florida because waterproof is good for the rainy, wet, flooding areas that you're always going to be in. But waterproof is also hot. It's hard to get waterproof to really be breathable. If you find a good breathable waterproof boot, then that's awesome. But these were definitely hot. I found my feet sweating a lot more in these. But the waterproofing was nice. I did have a couple incidents where I had to go through some water and water didn't get in them. So it was really good. Something else I did not like about these boots is that they were heavy. I hated the fact that they were so heavy. That probably has something to do with all the good materials and strength that they put into these things, because they definitely were durable. You can shine them and things like that. So Tactical Research, very durable boot. If you're into that, you're a stiff boot, great ankle support, great boot if you want one of those. But like I said, too heavy for me, too hot for my feet. Moving on to the next one. Oh, and before we get any further, make sure that you're going by your department's policy. So when it comes to boots, your department might have a specific policy. Make sure that you can have any boot that you can, or it doesn't have to be a specific boot. Just make sure that it's okay according to your department before you just go buy boots. Make sure it lines up. These boots are really cool, and I was really sold on them when I saw them, and I've seen a few people out there wearing them and talking so much good about them. I had to pick me up a pair. So these are the Salomon XA Forces GTX or Gore-Tex versions. So these are also waterproof, obviously they go waterproof all the way up to right above the ankle there. These are a really cool tactical boot, very durable, very good arch support in it, very comfortable. They have this quick zip tie system that you just pull, zip your shoes tied, really nice. They also have this cool little bar that's inside the heel of the shoe or inside the sole of the shoe that helps you actually launch off. It kind of flexes and gives you a better push off when you're running. So really fantastic, really sold me on these boots, and quick on and off. So I mean, you just unzip it like that, you can take your shoe off. What I did not like and why I did not continue to always wear these is this tongue. All right, this is something that I didn't really see in reviews. So this might be something that you guys care about, might not be. Other than this tongue, these boots are phenomenal. They're really good boots. If you have the money and you don't care about what I'm about to say, go pick yourself up a pair. They come in Gore-Tex waterproof, and they come in non-waterproof, I do believe. But they are expensive. They're around $200 now, I think. So it's a pretty expensive boot. So all in your budget. But why I didn't like these is this tongue. So you zip tie these closed, and then you're supposed to take your excess here and tuck it underneath this tongue. So you tuck it underneath the tongue like that, but what do you notice? I mean, look how huge the tongue of this thing is. It's huge. And what happens is, this wouldn't bother me, but what happens is I see it. So I get out of my patrol car. Every time I got out of my patrol car, or from sitting up or sitting down to getting up, my pants would get caught on the inside of this, so this big old thing would be sticking out. And it was like an OCD thing or something to me, and it just drove me nuts. I couldn't stand it. I was to constantly be picking my pants up and putting them back down to cover it up. And it was really annoying for me, so I stopped wearing them. Well, I wore them until my next boot allowance came, and then I got a different pair of boots. But other than that, guys, these boots really are fantastic. So if that doesn't bother you, get yourself a pair. I mean, you can't go wrong with them. They're strong, they're light. They're not super light, but they're pretty light. But yeah, so now I keep these in the back of my patrol car as a backup pair of boots. If you don't do that, I highly recommend that you do. If you live in wet climates or anything like that, leave an extra pair in your patrol car with an extra pair of socks. In case you get soaked, you can switch out your boots, and that's a world of difference. Your pants can dry out, things like that, but have yourself an extra pair of boots. Good pair of boots. If you can get past the tongue thing, go get them. So the next pair I picked up after those is the Bates Raides. These are the 8-inch Bait Raides. Super cool looking boot. They had just come out with these at the time, and I was looking for a boot. So I had gone through the sturdy, stiff, great ankle support type of boots, and I said, you know what, that's too heavy. You know, I want to be agile. I want to be able to sprint after that suspect, things like that. And the heavy boots just felt like they held me back. So I seen these. I said, okay, well, they have 8-inch, all right? They're higher up on the ankles, so probably a little bit of ankle support. And then their biggest selling point was that this was a boot with the heart of a running shoe. All right, so I was like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I want a boot that has the heart of a running shoe. So I came across these, and these have been actually really, really good. Super comfortable right off the bat. You put your foot in, there's no break-in period whatsoever for these boots. Now, some of these other boots that I was talking about, there's a little bit of a break-in period before they actually get comfortable. Zero break-in period with these. Super comfortable, probably one of the most comfortable boots that I've ever worn as far as the insole goes. It's very comfortable. And then they're a very agile boot, and they're very flexible, just like a running shoe. I mean, I had no problem with these. Very light for what they are. For a full 8-inch boot, it's very light. And yeah, I mean, everything is really good about this boot. The side zip, the Velcro's over the side zip there. Really good. I never have to continue to tie these things that don't really come loose. The lace is held up. So the only two downfalls I see of this boot is one, the leather that is here. So if you have to shine your boots, it takes a lot more work on these. It feels like they really suck in whatever shine you put on them. So I like to use the quick shine sponge. But I mean, these things really just suck that in and it becomes really dull. Definitely doesn't hold a shine very well. And the other thing is that this little tongue here has been starting to peel up. Not terrible, but grass catches in this. So if you walk through some grass, things like that, it gets caught in there. So it's kind of annoying. Other than that though, the soles have held up pretty well. I mean, I've had these for a year, and they've held up pretty well besides those things. You might see this on camera, I don't know if you did, but this tear here is not really a fault of the boot. I wore these at motor training. I dropped the motorcycle and my foot got caught on the foot stand, and it got caught right here and it ripped it. So it was my fault really. Other than that, these boots are fantastic. So that sounds interesting to you, go pick yourself up a pair of Bates boots. Just so you guys know, I will link all these boots down below so you can go pick them up. Just follow the link, go click on them. Some of them might be affiliated links, so by you clicking on them and purchasing boots through them, I do get some commission off of that, and it really helps the channel. I put all that stuff back into the channel to help keep this thing growing. All right, so the next ones I purchased are the Reebok Sublites. Now you're probably wondering why these are in tan. Like, I can't wear tan duty boots, man. Why are you showing me tan ones? Well, I got these for the purpose of off-duty stuff. So training, and then when I go to traffic homicide investigative calls or anything like that, or from coming in just to teach a class, things like that. That's what I got these for, because I usually like to wear tan with my black colored shirt for work, kind of break up the all black look that we usually wear. So I got these for those purposes, and I love them. I mean, they're super light, they look good, super comfortable, breathable. I mean, literally everything I'm looking for in a boot. Now, some people might not call these boots, but to me, they're still a boot. All right, they're close, they're on edge, but they are still a boot. But yeah, this is basically the closest thing you can get to a sneaker or shoe without actually getting one and still having a boot. So I like these so much, I bought me another pair. So now I got them in black. Yes, and I still got that new shoe smell because I haven't even worn them yet. So yeah, guys, these are by far, so far, my favorite boot. Now, that being said, I have not had too much experience in these boots. I've had the tan ones for about a year, but like I said, I don't wear them all the time. So as far as field experience, I don't know. I feel like they will do a good job. I do have friends who have the Sublites that are the 8-inch version. So everything's basically the same, but they go 8-inch and they're side zip. And they say they're fantastic. They say they're super comfortable. I was just talking to somebody the other day who had them on their feet because I knew I was going to make this video, and he said he had them for a year, and he said they're fantastic, and they still looked really good. So I think they're going to do really good. And it's nice that they have those different options for you guys, that you can get the shorter ones like this, or you can get the 8-inch zip boot, especially if that's your policy. You have to have an 8-inch boot at least or something like that. You can still get this style of boot. It changes just a little bit from looks, but it still looks good. So yeah, guys, those are all the boots that I currently have. Those are all the boots that I've gone through and my experience with boots overall. Now, when it comes to boots, this is what I look for. So if it's the same one you're looking for, then maybe you should get the Sublites as well. But what I look for is, number one, is gonna be looks. All right, that is the number one thing for me, is looks. Because to me, if you feel like you look good in your uniform and you look down at boots and you feel like you look good in what you're wearing, I think that reflects on how you truly feel. I think that makes you actually feel better and more apt to go out and do your job than having some kind of ugly, bulky boot that you don't like and is uncomfortable or something like that. Number 2 is going to be comfort. Comfort is everything. You are on your feet for 12 or more hours a shift, and yeah, it can be very painful if you have the wrong boot. So it's definitely big on comfort. Number 3, breathability. For me, in Florida, that's important. I need my feet to breathe because I hate sweaty feet. I hate walking around in sweaty feet, and it drives me nuts. So if it doesn't breathe, then that's a no-go for me. The Salomons I was talking about, those actually breathe really well for actually being waterproof. They're Gore-Tex, and they breathe pretty decent for a waterproof boot. And I think the 4th thing is going to be durability. As long as they last me a year, then I'm good with that. It's all up to you. If you want a boot that's going to last forever, then those Tactical Research ones, I'm telling you, they'll last forever. But if you get a boot allowance, or if you just make enough money and you're willing to spend the money, try on different boots just like I did. Find the ones that you think that you'll like and get those and learn from it. Wear them for a year or return them if you absolutely don't like them right off the bat. Another thing that's really important for me is lightweight. I don't like something that's dragging me down, which is kind of ironic because my motor boots are heavy as hell, but I can still run in those things. But when it comes to actual duty boots, when you're on patrol, you want something that's lightweight. At least I do. Because I want to be light on my feet. These criminals, they're fast. They're really fast. And so you got to be able to catch them carrying a bunch of heavy gear on your waist, or you're out of carry. If you got one of those, you're real lucky. And it's really hard when you got some heavy boots on. It's hard to lift your feet up. You're going to be slower. So I love lightweight boots. So guys, remember, all comes down to what your department's policy is. That's number 1. Number 2 is just going to be what is best for you. Are you somebody who needs arch support? Are you somebody who needs ankle support? Do you want those just lightweight boots? Do you want something close to a sneaker? That's going to be your choice. So hopefully some of these options were good for you. If not, go out there. There's tons and tons of boots. So again, guys, I will link all of those boots down below so you can find them in the order that we reviewed them. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed the boot review. Thank you so much for watching. And don't forget that like button, subscribe, and hit that little bell thing if you guys want to see more videos in the future and get notifications. Yeah. See you in the next one.